you had the home ground advantage.
Yeah.
You had the opportunity to put something into the game. And I knew for a fact that both Egyptian sides want to come into this game and put themselves on a defensive mode just to make sure that they can take 0-0 to their home grounds, so that for them they can win the game.
Yeah. Great run. He pulls it back. Rasmus Højlund. Thunderous. It's an absolute net buster.
Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Diski Preview Show, where we get to take a look at the beautiful game of football, and that is Diski. My name is yours truly, Mr. E, and I'm joined in the studio by the gentleman whose task is to give us his analysis on the games that we're going to be talking about today. Ladies and gentlemen, let me present to you the one and only Mr. Moore.
Mr. E, how are you, Chief?
I'm fantastic. How are you, man?
I'm good. I'm good.
Welcome back. I know last week you were also in the studio. Oh, well, you were in the studio where we took a look at the big games that were happening over the weekend, where Mamelodi Sundowns was going head-to-head with Ahly, while Orlando Pirates, they went head-to-head with the Pyramids. Yeah, and one of your predictions was spot on. 0-0, nil draw.
I think that was the Sundowns Ahly game.
Yeah. Well done.
Thank you. That was spot on because I when I made that prediction, I was thinking of when Sundowns faced Ahly.
Yeah.
And I remembered when Sundowns faced Pyramids.
The Pyramids,
and Pyramids are approaching that game. So that's what I based it off, and it turned out to be the correct prediction.
Oh, fantastic. And by the way, we will be taking a look at the two big games that will be taking place on Friday at 6 o'clock. Mamelodi Sundowns will go head-to-head with Ahly at Cairo International Stadium in Egypt, while Orlando Pirates will lock horns with the Pyramids a couple of hours later. Stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to be taking a look at the game between Ahly and Mamelodi Sundowns. As promised, today we'll be taking a look at the second leg of the CAF Champions League. The first game that we'll be taking a look at is Ahly going head-to-head with Mamelodi Sundowns. Mr. Moore.
Yes, Mr. E.
The last time the two teams met, a total of 2 goals were scored, but none of them were registered on the score sheet.
Yeah, Mr. E, very disappointing result.
Yeah.
Some fans have come
Disappointing for who? For Ahly or Mamelodi Sundowns?
For Sundowns.
Oh, yeah.
Sundowns. Don't forget, Ahly still have the home ground advantage when they go back. Before we start, Mr. E, I just wanted to remind everyone that visit betfred.co.za for the latest in promotions, specials, competitions, and so much more. You can get daily offers on sports. You can get daily offers on Vegas games. You can get daily offers on lucky numbers. You can get sports offers, horse racing offers. It depends on who you are and what you like, but Betfred has everything for everyone. So make sure to go visit betfred.co.za.
Now I do believe that we've got breathtaking offers.
Yeah, we
Betfred.
do. He's halfway through almost.
I saw you.
Almost fainted.
Yeah.
So, Mr. E, coming to this game, I mean, you had the home ground advantage.
Yeah.
You had the opportunity to put something into the game. And I knew for a fact that both Egyptian sides want to come into this game and put themselves on a defensive mode just to make sure that they can take 0-0 to their home grounds, so that for them they can win the game.
Yeah.
But the warning I'll have for Ahly fans, young Africans. Remember young Africans?
Yeah. From Tanzania.
We went as Sundowns to play young Africans against this coach who's coaching Sundowns at the moment.
Yeah.
We played out to a 0-0 draw. We came back to South Africa, and what happened then?
Yeah.
You understand? They managed to edge us in our own backyard. So that logic doesn't always work out.
Yeah.
So for Sundowns' perspective, I mean, they would have wanted to get goals. They would have. I mean, they played with intent.
Yeah.
Their lineup also said that they were intentionally trying to get goals.
Yeah.
But it just didn't happen on the day because Ahly played a very solid game.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that Ahly didn't create chances, because usually when you say to people that they went for a defensive setup, people will consider Ahly as a team that packed the bus.
Yeah.
They played very good football, but they were very aggressive in their tackles. They made sure that they didn't give Sundowns a chance at goal.
Yeah.
And that's something that actually showed in the stats.
Yeah. After that has been said and done more, I just wanted to find out from you which one was the better team on the pitch, because I'm looking at the stats right now. Mamelodi Sundowns had no shot on goal.
Yeah, Mr. E.
Ahly had 3. That was the visiting team. So you would have thought maybe Mamelodi Sundowns was the one that was parking the bus or not sharp enough to shoot at goal.
But Mr. E, when you talk about parking the bus, you look at the ball possession.
Yeah.
23% for Ahly, 73% for
Mamelodi Sundowns. Yeah.
So when you look at it, Sundowns had most of the ball. They had all the time on the world on the ball, but they couldn't crack.
What did they do with all that?
You can't crack a team that's not willing to give you chances. If think about it this way. In football, right? We've come to a point in football where if a structure is rigid, like you're playing against the wall.
Yeah.
If you play against the wall, you're not gonna get through that wall. But if a few bricks move, then you find a place of vulnerability and you're able to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
But if you're playing against a team that the fullbacks are not going extremely high, the midfielders are not committing themselves behind the striker, everyone is compact in the middle, they force you to play wide, you're not going to be able to get opportunities that you need. And especially when you think about it, because if you're playing in a they call it a Christmas tree shape, where you have 4 at the back, maybe 5 in the middle, and 1 up top. The 5 could be in a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1. Depending on the formation, it still creates the Christmas tree.
The Christmas tree.
You're compact in the middle. You're making sure that whoever's in the middle is forced to play the ball out wide or play the ball back, so that you're able to then compress this region where Sundowns can score. Because the thing about Sundowns is that you don't only have to prevent shots from outside the box. Free kicks from outside the box are also dangerous. Because if you concede a free kick against Sundowns outside the box, Mokwena is more than capable to put in the back of the net. If you play a defensive line that's too high, Ribeiro has the pace to take advantage of that. Mihle has the pace to take advantage of that. If you allow them to cross from the edge of your box either side, the Mihle will finish that off. So now what you're forcing them to do is play wide, but make sure that you congest your middle enough to allow your fullbacks to spread as wide as possible. So that if they want to go to the right, you can shift to the right, squeeze them back out, make them go back, go to the other side. There's a reason why the possession was 73%. It means a lot of ball recycling took place.
Most certainly, and that's how Mamelodi Sundowns would like to play anyway, because they're a ball possession team. But looking at Ahly on the other side, on the flip side of what we have just said, I think they did very well to come to South Africa and get a 0-0 draw. And I know it's advantage Ahly. But it's also advantage Mamelodi Sundowns, because they also get to an opportunity to go there to Egypt. If they draw 1-1, 2-2, they go through.
Yeah, but Mr. E, it's wishful thinking. As much as Sundowns didn't get any shot on target, they had 8 shots total at the goal. And if you look at Ahly, they got 12 shots at goal, 3 of them were on target. So when you look at those numbers, it's telling you that as much as Sundowns had the lesser shots, Ahly had more shots, because one thing I always say about counter-attacking football is that it's not really a science, it's gambling. Because when you create those chances, you don't have the numbers you need. You don't have that's why people revere Pep Guardiola so highly, because he makes sure that when his team gets into the box, he has the numbers he needs in the box. If you're playing on the break, you could end up with a situation where it's a 2v1, where you have the one striker and you have 2 defenders. He's going to want to buy time. He'll probably run wide. By the time he runs wide, or by the time he takes his shot, he's at full pace, at full tilt. He's not going to be able to look up and see where the goal is. So it's telling you that they did create chances. They did dominate in terms of the counter-attacking football they were playing. But the reality is they weren't creating premium chances. So now, when you go to the second leg, they will try to address, Ahly specifically, the lack of premium chances that they created. Then they'll open up in terms of the way they play, because they'll need more numbers up front than they did in Pretoria. So you look at that, and that will open up gaps in the midfield. It will open up gaps on the wide spaces. It will allow Sundowns to play their football going forward. It will give players like Allende space. It will give players like Aboshalile and Abo Reina's space in between the lines. But when you have those players, if you look at Shalile, he looked like an island in the game. When you look up, he's between 3 players. When you look up, he's between 3 players. Ribeiro was being marshaled around. So now that means the team is not playing their football. They're trying to stop your football.
Exactly. I think one other thing that, or rather one other thing that we need to mention is that it was a game of high stakes, whereby no one could afford any mistake at all. And we did say that. But with that being said, twice, Mamelodi Sundowns had to pick the ball from the back of the net. And all those goals were overturned for offside. Does that show intent on the side of Ahly? Because easily that game they could have gone the Ahly way.
Mr. E, like I said, when you're playing on the counter, it's a gamble. It's not a science. So players are playing on a frantic, because you have the ball for I mean, if you have the ball for a long time, you're going to build the ball into the box. You're going to know where Mr. E is. You're going to know where Mo is. On the counter, I'm running at speed. And if you look at the goals, they came from quick, fast opportunities. And I think also from an official standpoint, we just had the situation with Kaizer Chiefs, where the goal was given and plenty of people argued it was offside.
So, and they wanted VAR to be introduced.
So the officials didn't want to end up in a situation like that. Because the stakes are high. If Ahly goes through to the next round, a CAF, Sundowns
that will be a point
behind.
of reference for
who's the chairman
for a
of
long
CAF?
time.
Yes, then. So now everybody has to take that into account to say they had to be extra careful with their officiating. No need to give things that should not be given.
Maybe goals and so on. But I must commend Mamelodi Sundowns. I know that they were playing against the tough time champions, that is Ahly. And I think they are the current holders of the Champions League Cup right now. For them to hold them for the whole 90 minutes, I think they did very well. But I was reading some of the comments, and I spoke to some of the people on the street, and somebody came up with this conversation to say Mamelodi Sundowns is no longer the Mamelodi Sundowns that they knew, the Mamelodi Sundowns that would win the Champions League, the championship with a lot of goals to spare and so on. In actual fact, they're saying they've downgraded a little bit. They're no longer as potent as they used to. What's your take on that?
Hi, Mr. E. This is why you need a teacher to come in and give you a quote. And say when the bed sits too long on the fence. You understand? it attracts a stone. Yes, that's the one. No, but Mr. E, even when you're driving, you have to, when you go down a gear, the car, holds on for a second to speed up. So I think Sundowns fans at this moment, the transition from Urulani from Pito to Urulani kind of gave them the mentality that it will always be greener pastures. In football, the one thing that I think will be the future of football, it will be, especially for those in the business of football, it will be having to hedge your bets on which trophies you want to win. Sundowns know that they want to win the PSL. They've done that now for a few seasons. For them, it's a matter of, okay, this is a formality. But now they've been trying to win the CAF Champions League. Those very same people those very same people that are talking about the lack of trophies. I mean the downgrade. Are talking from a perspective of they're used to running away with the league. They're not recognizing the improvement that has happened through Stellenbosch, that has happened through Orlando Pirates. Yes, Kaizer Chiefs not in the mix, but they've also improved in their own way. The reality is that for many fans of the game, we're looking at it and saying, why is Sundowns not running away with it again? If you're saying Sundowns downgraded, think of the fact that Manchester City are sitting 4th in the league after winning the league 4 times in a row. Yes, with the same coach, with the same personnel. So even big clubs, they find themselves in a time of, go back to the draw board, re-strategize, re-plan out, and then execute. Because our biggest mistake is that we're always trying to, things will not always stay the same. Sundowns are trying something new with a new coach. Their priority is the CAF Champions League. Their priority is the FIFA Club World Cup. It's a big season for them. For them to worry about the PSL is a very, very far away thought. Because for them it's a formality. So why must they invest the best of their resources in that when they have 2 major tournaments that they're playing in and one is coming up?
Fantastic stuff. And I just wanted to find out from you now, with that being said, we've taken a look at the results that we had last week of Sundowns and Ahly, and then across town there was also another draw that we're going to speak about in this episode. Do you think potentially we'll still have an all South African final in the CAF Champions League?
I'll speak from a Sundowns perspective. I think they still stand pole position to win this one in my mind. I know I said that what I said last week, I said the final would be Pyramids versus I said it would be Ahly versus Pirates. But the reality is that at this point we're looking at the reality of the situation at the moment, the gravitas of the situation. Sundowns will go and invest a lot more energy in trying to win this game. Post the match between now and then. Because for them they know it's do or die. Ahly, I saw they've become what Real Madrid is to the European game. They've become a benchmark. They've become,
everyone wants to be like them.
Exactly. Everyone wants to beat them. And I think once Sundowns beats them, they'll have the confidence to go win the trophy.
Yeah.
Because for them, they'll say, we've taken the tougher route.
Yeah.
We've taken the long way to get here. We beat Esperance Tunis.
Yeah.
We've beat Ahly.
Now it's
now it's the formality of the final.
When I will lift up the trophy.
So for me, to answer your question, I think Sundowns has a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
I think Sundowns will have to approach this one differently. I think the coach did try something when he put in, I think, his Sales.
Yeah, Sales.
No, up front. Who's the number 9 again up front?
It's the tall guy, Sales.
Is it Sales, no?
Yeah, Sales.
Yeah. So they put him in and they tried something different.
Yeah.
Trying to see if they can get a result out of the game.
Yeah.
So I think from my analysis of the game, he just needs to go with his tried and tested.
Yeah.
He just needs to go with the experienced players.
Yeah.
And he needs to, work it out through those guys. I mean,
Yeah. I see also Themba Zwane was brought in as well after a long layoff. Yeah,
that one was also a little bit dodgy for me. I think a player like that, I mean, his quality, we're not arguing that he's not.
Yeah.
But in this situation, you need to put in the players that have played this thing the longest.
Yeah.
He's coming back from injury. You're putting him in a high-pressure game, in a high-pressure situation. He's not back into the click of moving with the guys.
Yeah.
So let the guys who've been moving around. I mean, the team has been based on Ribeiro for how many weeks now?
Yeah.
Make him your focal point.
Yeah.
And now look at what happened. You take the focal point of Ribeiro away.
Yeah.
And then you don't get the goals.
Yeah.
It's a classic case of Ribeiro's the main guy. Everybody's playing through him.
Yeah.
But now you put Zwane into the pitch.
Yeah.
They're playing through Ribeiro. Ribeiro's trying to play through Zwane.
Zwane, yeah.
And which means he's going to give a lot of unnecessary passes.
Yeah.
He's not going to finish the way he was finishing before. So maybe in this situation, just keep Uzwane on the bench first and then bring him on as an impact player. We're not saying his career is at its end, but he just came back from injury.
Yeah.
He hasn't
He needs some time to gel with the guys there.
He needs time to get up to speed.
Okay. So now let me put your head on the block right now. I just want you to give us the predictions of this game. Ahly versus Mamelodi Sundowns. Who's going through to the final?
Hey, Mr. E.
And is it going to be within the 90 minutes?
No. It's very scary.
It's time to make enemies and friends.
Yeah,
now.
no, Mr. E. I think Sundowns will make it through. I think the goal won't be pretty.
Yeah.
It'll be an ugly goal. I think it'll be a corner kick.
Yeah.
And it'll be a late corner kick.
Yeah.
And then someone will score.
Sales.
I don't know. I don't know
He's
who.
deadly in air.
But I think the Egyptians will be more comfortable at home.
Yeah.
They'll open up, they'll create little pockets where Sundowns can take advantage.
Yeah.
Sundowns need to be wary of themselves as well. They can't go there and play on the front foot and end up conceding an early goal. But I think the coach will start off very pragmatic in the first half, keep it tight, try to see what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
Second half, I think they must forget about it. Look, Sundowns is going through to the final.
Okay.
I say that because also I don't want to get deported.
From where?
From South Africa to Egypt.
No, they wouldn't do. They wouldn't send you there. They wouldn't send you there. You're not patriotic, man. You're not. Those are the predictions of Mo. He's saying Mamelodi Sundowns is going through all the way to the final after claiming the scalp of Ahly. What do you think about that prediction? And what are your thoughts about that game? I know it's going to be a big one. The whole continent is going to be holding its breath from 6 o'clock up until 10 p.m. waiting to see if Mamelodi Sundowns and Orlando Pirates go through to the final. Please, let's take a quick break. Mo, are you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm okay. Wait, what's your prediction before we go?
Okay, I knew you wanted to ask me that. I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw, and Mamelodi Sundowns will go through to the final.
All right, no problem.
Okay. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be taking a look at our next featured game, where Orlando Pirates will be facing the Pyramids of Egypt.